الرابط لبقية البنات. هاي الحصة الأولى عندكم صح؟ إن شاء الله برجع بكرر وبعيد. امتحاننا بيكون يوم الأحد، مدته نصف ساعة. ماشي الحال؟ و يلا بنات جهزوا لي، بدي بس دقيقتين راح استنى البنات الثانيات. يلا حبيباتي. أيوة يا سالي. What are you writing? What are you doing? يلا يا بنات. Now we are going 28 بنت. ليش 28؟ يلا now we are going to start our lesson today. Period 4. Please open your book. افتح كتابك يا تاسع حبيباتي. On page على كتاب. أنا ليش بضلني أخربط؟ عشان في عندنا رزمة وفي عندي كتاب. page 31. Open your book please on page 31. Now we are going to introduce new words and meanings. بدنا نبلش بالمعاني. بدنا نبلش بالمعاني. Now we are going to start. Open your book. برجع بحكي لك open your book يا تاسع on page 31. وبعتوا لو سمحتوا الرابط على الماسنجر على الجروب. انتوا الموجودين معي. هي تاسع، هي زينة باعته.
بس أنا بعته.
بعتوا يعني ما بيصير هذا الحكي. أول حصة يعني بيكونوا نايمات مثلا. شو هالحكي الساعة 10 وإشي. يلا يا تاسع. Now we are going to introduce new words and meanings. Open your book on page 31 and let's revise our unit number and the title of our unit. What's the number of our unit? Yeah, raise your hand please. يلا يا raise your hand. يلا يا سالي. The number of our unit. What's the number of our unit? أيوة يا سالي.
11.
Yes, unit 11. Is it unit 11?
No,
يلا يا
it's
حلا
10.
سامي.
Miss Unit 10.
يلا حلا. What's the title of our unit?
Wildlife in danger.
Wildlife in danger. What do you mean by wildlife؟ حكينا من الفصل الأول بنعرفه اللي هو الحياة البرية. It contains wildlife contains شو هي أو تشمل اللي هي تشمل what؟ Contains what؟ تالين. What do you mean by wildlife؟
بس اللي هي الحياة البرية.
اللي هي الحياة البرية. It contains what؟ تشمل ماذا؟
animals
Yes.
والناتشر شيء.
Anything in nature like plants, animals, waterfalls, lakes, seas, okay, mountains, hills, etc. Now we are going to introduce new words and meanings. Please listen and follow.
Period 4. Activity 1. Cause. Coast.
هذا
Destroy.
الأول.
Disappear. Discover. Man-made.
Mhm.
Net. Require. Risk.
Mhm.
Species.
Word formation. Act. Action. Die. Death.
Okay, now we are going to listen again, then we will introduce their meanings.
Unit 10. Period 4. Activity 1. Cause. Coast. Destroy. Disappear. Discover. Man-made.
Mhm.
Net. Require. Risk. Species.
Word formation. Act. Action. Die. Death.
تمام. Now يا تاسع, now we are going to listen again, then introduce their words and meanings.
Unit 10. Period 4. Activity 1. Cause.
Cause, reason.
Coast.
Coast, seaside.
Destroy.
Destroy, damage. أخذناه طبعا
Disappear.
هذا صح. Disappear, vanish.
Discover.
Discover.
Man-made.
Man-made.
Net.
Man.
Require.
Net اللي هي الشبكة.
Risk.
Okay, risk in danger.
Species.
Species, kind.
Word formation. Act. Action.
Act يا بنات حكيناها. Act اللي هي as a verb يمثل أو يقوم به. Action اللي هي فعل. نعم.
noun action noun
بعرف.
تصرف.
نعم.
بس كملي
يلا يا تاسع.
Die. Death.
die اللي هي verb يموت. death اللي هي موت. احنا اخذناه وحلينا اتوقع number 1 2 3 4 5.
بس حليناه كله.
حليناه كله. now هلا شو بدي منكم يا تاسع. now only 2 minutes. choose a word and use it in a sentence of your own and show it to me.
بس من هدول اللي هون.
يس دليل لانه المره الماضيه ما استخدمناهم.
صح.
وانا بدي منكم تفرجوني اياهم وتبعتوا لي اياهم على تيمز حبيباتي.
بس مبلع
بس أنا عندي واحدة.
بس عملنا عليهم.
مش مشكله، انا اعطي فرصه للبنات اللي ما عندهم كمان او اللي بدهم يزيدوا.
ايه
يلا يا تاسع. who'd like
بس أنا راما.
like to do number 1. يلا يا راما.
بس destroy the earthquake destroy the whole city.
اوكي. يس يا نور. زمان ما سمعنا صوت نور.
My dress is made in India.
again.
My dress is made in India.
Yes. Is it man-made or not?
Yeah.
Is it man-made or not? Is it man-made or not?
لا.
No. Okay. Thank you. يلا يا يارا سالي تالين.
My brother discovered book in the garden.
Okay. Thank you. يلا يا
أنا سالي.
يلا يا حكينا اسمائهم بالترتيب بعدين انا بدي ايمان بعد. يلا.
She likes to She likes to discover nature.
اوكي ثانك يو. يلا يا غيره اللي بقى تالين حكينا او سالي بعد.
بس لا هني. The occupation is destroying the Palestinian lands.
Okay, thank you. That cities and their lives. يلا يا إيمان.
I will go to the ghost with my family.
Okay, thank you. Now we are going to move. هلا بدنا ننتقل لبيج أنا عندي خليني أشوف لك إياه معلش. طبعا did you check your answers لما حليناه؟ أتذكر إنه حليناه وكتبته أنا كمان. Now open your book please on page 33. 32 عفوا. Open your book on page 32 and now we are going to listen to conversation or to the text. Now we are going to introduce a very important topic بدنا نتعلم اليوم أو ندرس اليوم very important text and it's interesting and full of information. Now open your book on page 32 and look at page 33. طلعي لي على صفحة أو 32 نفس صفحة page 32. Look at the picture and tell me what can you see. What can you see يا زينة? What can you see يا زينة?
I can see in the picture a boat, sea,
Okay.
a fish.
Yes. Do you think do you think is it a clean ocean or not clean or there is pollution?
I know it's not clean.
Yes. Is it not clean?
بس هذا fishing صح؟
No.
هذا fishing بس ال ocean is clean here. Okay. Now
هذا
thank you. Now let's read the title of the lesson. The title, will the ocean live or die? Will the ocean live or die? What do you mean by this sentence? The writer here is asking us and asking himself هل المحيط حي or ميت? Okay, what do you mean by this sentence?
إيش miss؟
What do you mean by this sentence? Will the ocean live or die? Is the ocean
يعني إذا
alive or
في
die?
بس يعني من
إذا
كتر
في
السمار
كائنات حية أو لا.
Okay, is the ocean full of healthy natural things or there is pollution? صح? There is man-made disasters. Okay. Now we have 5 sentences here. Look at the top of your page. We can see 5 sentences true or false. Now who would like to read the 1 2 3 4 5 6 خلينا أقسمكم.
بس أبلش أنا هدير.
هدير نمبر 1 حلا نمبر 2
خليني
يارا نمبر 3 خليناك يا تالين سنة نمبر 4 راما نمبر 5 كمان بدي بنات جداد رنيم نمبر 6 and لا بس نمبر 5 عندي. يلا let's start لو سمحت.
Okay. 1. Many forms of life in the ocean are endangered. اللي هي true.
No please. تامن تاسع زي ما تعودنا. Just read and don't give me the answer. We are going to read, understand, then we will find out the answer.
Okay.
يلا يا number 2.
Fishing is the only cause of the problem.
Okay, يلا number 3.
Only a few countries agreed to stop change whales.
Catching whales. Okay, يلا يا number 5.
Okay. Number 5, whale numbers are now rising, but quantities of fish are still falling.
Okay, now we are going to listen.
Unit 10, Period 4. Activities 2. Unit 10, Period 4. Activity 4. My name is Jim Webb. Unit 10, Period 5. Activity 3.
Okay يا تاسع now open your book. احنا عم نحكي page 32. Open your book, please, and we are going to listen to the text. Listen and follow. اسمعي وتبعي.
Will the oceans live or die? Fish and many other kinds of life, like coral, are disappearing from the oceans fast. There are sad changes everywhere. Near the coast, they are often caused by pollution. Farther out, the cause is often overfishing. Fishing boats with huge nets catch and kill everything. We risk a terrible man-made disaster, the death of the oceans. But could our recent action to save the whales give us hope? 2 centuries ago, whales were already being caught for their oil and meat. By the 1940s, the job was being made easier by modern technology. From the 1950s to the 1980s, they were being caught everywhere, and numbers were collapsing. Whole species of whales were quickly being destroyed, and they were not being protected anywhere. Finally, the world took action. In 1985, almost every country agreed to stop catching whales. This means that whale populations are slowly rising again. Could the same thing happen with fish and fishing? Sadly, almost certainly not. In Europe, people are required to catch smaller quantities now, but almost everywhere else they go on fishing freely, though it is getting harder. They cannot stop. Too many hungry people need to eat. Perhaps the only way to save the oceans is the one that our ancestors discovered long ago: farming. There are already many fish farms, and perhaps there will soon be many more along the world's coasts. People say the fish do not taste as good as wild fish. However, that is still much better than losing all the fish in the world.
Okay, Tessa. Now we are going to read. بدي حدا read the paragraph number 1, and now we are going to discuss the text. Who'd like to read? بدي أبلش بسالي. Yes يا سالي. وسالي راح أخليكي. فرح وين اليوم غايب عنا؟ Where is فرح يا بنات؟
هيني موجودة.
أوكي يلا يا
مس
سالي.
أقرأ.
يس يلا.
بدك أقرأ.
سالي. يس يا سالي.
Will the oceans live or die? Fish and many other kinds
will
of
the
life.
ocean شوية سالي. Will the ocean live or die? Live and die are the opposite. عكس بعض طبعا. Live and die are the opposite.
Fish and many other kinds of life, like coral, are disappearing from the oceans fast.
Okay, and شوية سالي شوي معلش بس جملة إذا fish and many other kinds of life اللي هي الحياة الموجودة بالمحيط. Kinds of life, what do you mean by kinds? In other words? Types, yes. Like what coral? What do you mean by coral? Do you remember?
هذا الإشي المرجان البحري.
المرجان بالصف السادس أخذناهم. Are disappearing. What do you mean by disappearing?
يختفي.
Opposite of disappear.
Appearing.
Yes. Are disappearing. الverb هو عبارة عن
disappear.
Present continuous.
Present continuous. Yes. From oceans. Oceans. What do you mean by oceans?
المحيطات.
محيطات. Opposite of fast يا تاسع كمان عندي.
Slow.
Yes. يلا continue يا سالي.
There are sad changes everywhere near the coast. They are often caused by pollution. Further out, causes made disaster.
There are sad changes everywhere. إذا we have sad changes where in the ocean everywhere near the coast. They are often caused by pollution. they هون يا تاسع refers to what؟
المرجان
changes, sad changes.
Changes, yes. Changes. They are often caused. هي عبارة عن passive voice. هاي التغييرات حتى بواسطة شو السبب؟ What's the cause of these changes? Pollution.
The pollution.
خلينا نشوف البولوشن. كملي يا سالي.
Further out, the causes made disaster. The causes often overfishing. Fishing boats with huge nets catch and kill everything. We risk a terrible man-made disaster, the death of the ocean.
Okay, now I will tell you what happens in paragraph number 1. Is that there are big changes in oceans all around the world, and these changes are happened by two things. Who can tell me? By two things.
Man-made.
What made these? لا مش سالي يلا يا فرح. What made these changes?
The overfishing and the huge nets catch and kill everything.
الهيوج net helps overfishing. Overfishing is one cause, and the other is السبب الثاني.
Pollution.
Pollution. Thank you. Pollution. إذن two things that made changes for oceans اللي هم pollution and overfishing يعني التلوث والصيد الجائر. All of these causes are natural or man-made disasters. They are man-made. هدول من صنع الإنسان. Pollution and overfishing. What helps man for overfishing اللي هو huge nets catch and kill everything. What do we mean by everything? اللي هو كل شيء. Opposite of everything, nothing. What do you mean by risk? What do you mean by risk?
مخاطر.
اللي هو face danger. Trouble. What do you mean by trouble in English?
Problem.
لا awful. Yes, awful. Man-made disaster, the death of the ocean. All of these disasters شو بتسبب عندي؟ The death of the ocean. لو pollution and overfishing. يلا paragraph number 2 يا فرح.
But could our recent action to save the whales give us hope? 2 centuries ago, whales were already being caught from the oil and meat. By the 1940s, the job was being made easier by modern technology. From the 1950s to the 1980s, they were being caught everywhere, and numbers were collapsing. Of whale were quickly being destroyed. Species of whale were quickly being destroyed, and they were not being protected anywhere.
Okay, now this changing for the oceans and the pollution and overfishing made a problem, and they think to take action to save the ocean. اللي هي شو عملوا إحنا؟ live whales, there are something to save whales' lives. There were overfishing for whales in 1940s, and 2 centuries ago. What do you mean by century? اللي هو قرن من الزمن قبل يعني 200 سنة ل 100 سنة. Whales were already being caught. كان صيد الحيتان كتير. Why do you think?
بس عشان for their oil and meat.
Oil and meat. Thank you Talin. For their oil and meat عشان الزيت تبعهم واللحم تبعهم التونة كانوا يصيدوهم بشكل كتير كبير. There refers to what?
للويلز.
بس للويلز.
إذن in 1940s the job was being easier or was easier. Why the job was easier?
Miss, because
of the modern technology.
Thank you. Because of the modern technology, إذا we have huge nets, we have sailing boats. شايفين كيف في عندي صار أنا القوارب المطورة، صار عندي الأشرعة الكويسة، صار عندي الكومباس البوصلات، صار عندي السنسورز maybe إنه كيف وين أماكن الحيتان. by modern technology كل هالإشي صار. the most important thing اللي هي النتس، huge nets، الشبكات العملاقة حتى اللي بتنسحب بشكل آلي سهلت هذا الإشي. so from 1950s من الخمسينات للثمانينات there was a big problem. كان عندي مشكلة كبيرة اللي هي the number of the population of the world is شو صار coming down quickly. كتير انخفض. إذا they were being caught everywhere. مين هم they؟ كانوا ينمسكوا بكل مكان. مين هم they؟ الويلز. yes الويلز they were being caught everywhere and so the number of whales شو صار فيهم؟ collapsing.
We're
what do you mean by collapsing؟ اللي هي
ينهار يعني ينخفض.
yes opposite of rising. whale species what do you mean by species هون؟
نوع أو kinds.
type of whales are quickly being destroyed. مليان عندي passive voice أنا. were being destroyed. look at were destroyed, were caught, ماشي was made, and they were not being protected anywhere. what do you mean by protected؟
يعني يحمي.
in English rescued or saved. yes rescued or saved. they here refers to what؟ they here refers to what؟
whales.
يلا يا زينة number page أو line 10. quickly please continue.
Finally. Okay, finally
in the end. what do you mean by finally in the end؟ تمام.
the world took action.
تمام.
In 1985, almost every country agreed to stop catching whales. This means that whale populations are slowly rising again.
Okay, هلا كملي الفقرة. Could the same thing happen?
Could the same thing happen with fish and fishing? Sadly, almost certainly not. In Europe, people are required to catch smaller quantities now, but almost everywhere else they go on fishing freely, though it is getting harder. They cannot stop. Too many hungry people need to eat.
Okay, thank you. في عندكم حصة تانية أي ساعة يا تاسع؟
10:50.
10:50. Okay, we are going to continue this paragraph and we are going to discuss paragraph number 3. Then we will stop tomorrow أو يوم الأحد إن شاء الله. On Sunday we are going to continue. Now, finally, in 1985, the world took action. اتخذ قرار العالم إنه we should stop catching whales. إنه what was the decision؟ اللي هو stop catching whales. وقفوا يصطادوا الحيتان علشان يتكاثروا. طبعا جميعهم agreed. opposite of agree
disagree.
disagree. yes. this means, this refers to what? What do you mean by this means?
مثل هو stop catching whales.
Yes, stop catching whales. This means that whale population are slowly rising again. راح يرجع يرتفع كمان مرة اللي هو عدد الحيتان. Could the same things happen with fish and fishing؟ طبعا العالم مفكر انه يتخذ قرار بالنسبة للصيد الجائر اللي هو overfishing with fast fishing boats and huge nets with technology. But in Europe, the people are required to catch smaller quantities. طلبوا منهم انهم بالصيد بطريقة محدودة، يعني بكميات محدودة. but this is not will work all over the world. مش راح يمشي هذا القرار بكل أنحاء العالم. They can't stop. They مين هم؟ First what?
The population.
People.
People.
Because people here in Europe are required to catch smaller quantities, but this not will work, and this will not work in other parts of the world. Why? Because too many hungry people need to eat. Okay, this will not work, or people will not listen in other countries, because why? We have too many people hungry and they need to eat. Okay يا تاسع. Now we don't have time. Tomorrow we are going to continue. مش tomorrow إن شاء الله يوم الأحد we are going to continue. بدنا نكمل and check our discussion and our understanding. تمام تمام يا تاسع معي انتو؟
معاكي
خليكم معي
بس
بس ما
معاكي.
تطلعوا حبيباتي، ما تطلعوا من الحصة شوي صغيرة، بس اخذ الحضور بالغياب. Where are the others? Thank you تاسع.
You're welcome.
يا حبيباتي يلا thank you.
نطلع
وين الحصة؟